This is a special report from your hometown station, WDBJ7.
Good morning, everybody. We are breaking into programming right now to share with you that Air Force One is just about to land.
And the president should be getting off the plane any minute now. You can see it right there. We understand the president, as well as Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife, will be in the motorcade on the way from Lynchburg Regional Airport over there to Williams Stadium.
That's right. It's only about a couple of miles drive. You can see Air Force One beginning to make its approach to Lynchburg Regional Airport. We're bringing you this live, about to touch down there in just a few seconds. And you know what? He is going to have a huge crowd to welcome him at Liberty University. There it is, Air Force One now on the ground. Some 50,000 people are expected to attend today's commencement ceremony. That is likely going to set a record for Liberty University. And
18,000 of those people will be graduates, whether they are in-person students or Liberty Online students. So a lot of families will be out there at Liberty University today. They're anticipating that's going to be the largest crowd ever at the stadium.
People started arriving there really early this morning. Our own WDBJ7 reporter and anchor Tim Saunders was out and about 4 a.m. He said he passed tons of traffic heading that way. People were getting in, getting their seats. You can see a live look now there at Liberty University. And this isn't the first time that Trump has been there. This is now his third visit to Liberty in about 5 years.
Yeah, third visit in 5 years. The first one was back in September of 2012. He spoke at convocation there. He actually earned an honorary doctorate in business during that visit. That was the first one. And then more recently in January of 2016, he spoke again at convocation. Again, he was more in campaign mode. That was after his campaign announcement saying that he was going to run for president of the United States. And then, of course, the commencement ceremony is going on today.
Yeah, looking at video of that with Jerry Falwell Jr. there. And he is the second sitting president to actually be at Liberty University. We're to head out now to Lynchburg Regional Airport, where WDBJ7's Bianca Holman has been all morning long, keeping tabs of things there. Good morning, Bianca.
Good morning, Kim. Yes, we're out here on the tarmac right now. As you saw, the plane, Air Force One, just came in. It's actually taxiing around. The motorcade is getting ready to pull up as the president comes in on Air Force One, comes out. Like Tim said, we have Liberty University's president, Jerry Falwell Jr. He's here with his wife. They're actually going to be a part of the motorcade, riding there to the university. So very, very exciting. We're probably going to actually have footage of the president coming off of Air Force One and loading into that all those black cars, going to be riding down through Lynchburg and onto Liberty University's campus. So very, very exciting. He's here. The plane has landed. He's coming down the runway now.
All right, very exciting morning there in Lynchburg. We're going to head over now to WDBJ7's Tim Saunders has been covering this all morning long from the campus of Liberty University, as we mentioned, seeing people arrive very, very early this morning. Tim, what's it like there now?
Well, folks were very excited here a moment ago. They had their eyes trained on the sky, hoping to see Air Force One passing over Williams Stadium. We didn't catch a glimpse of it here. The cloud cover is very low, and so they probably took a different route to get into the airport than they may have originally planned. I know when I talked to Jerry Falwell Jr. yesterday, he said that he had asked President Trump to tell his Air Force One pilot to try and fly right over campus so that he could get a good look at things and see just how much campus has changed since his last visit. I don't believe they were able to do that because we could not see Air Force One from our vantage point, and we're less than a mile from the airport here. We're very close to the airport, so we would have seen it had they flown right next to campus, but apparently they did not. They chose to fly directly into the airport there and land on the tarmac, and I believe, as you said, they're there now.
All right, Tim, thank you so much for that update. We're going to take you back out live to Lynchburg Regional Airport, where Air Force One is now taxiing around. It's getting ready to stop. And of course, President Donald Trump is about to step out, and in Lynchburg, and again to a huge crowd waiting for him on the campus of Liberty University this morning.
Absolutely, and this is a big day for Liberty University. It's not the first time that a sitting president has come and visited Liberty University. We'll remember back to 1990. That's when George H.W. Bush, he was there for commencement as well. So this is another history-making day for Liberty University, as this will be their second sitting president visiting. And you can see the plane coming up to taxi, where the president will be getting off and will be in that motorcade with Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife, driving to just a couple miles between Lynchburg Regional Airport and Williams Stadium.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for Liberty. Other newly elected presidents typically give their first commencement addresses at Notre Dame, but this time Liberty University has that great honor. And as you were mentioning, he is going to be in his motorcade with Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife. It's a quick ride to Liberty, but you can only imagine what they're going to be talking about. Just,
right.
Falwell's going to be so excited to show him, some of the changes that have been on that campus since the last time he was here.
It would be so fascinating to listen in on that very brief conversation. I'm sure they'll be having. Actually, Google mapped it. It'll be about 7-minute drive.
Yes.
So, very interesting to see what they might be talking about in between there. And when they get to Williams Stadium, like we've been mentioning, 50,000 people expected. That's the largest event they're planning for at that stadium. We're actually going to go back out to WDBJ7's Bianca Holman. So, Bianca, what are you seeing from your vantage point now? It looks like before you were right near the staircase where the president will be walking out.
Yes, they actually took the staircases. They have put them right there next to Air Force One. So the president is about to actually get off the plane now. Of course, Liberty University's president, Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife are here. She's in a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful pink outfit, and they're taking pictures. Of course, the state police are here. There's actually a state police helicopter circling around. Security is tight. They have it locked down. There's no kind of bystanders or anything like that out here. But again, security is tight. They're actually coming off of the stairs now. You can see the staff from the airplane from Air Force One coming off now. And the president, he's about to kind of walk through that door. So it's really exciting. I think Bruce, our photographer, he's getting footage of that. And so we're really excited. So here again, the motorcade is actually coming up. The motorcade is coming up and getting ready to have the president walk in and be ready to travel to Liberty University.
Yeah, you see some people stepping off Air Force One there. And Jerry Falwell Jr. has been on hand for every graduation in the school's 40-year history, but no doubt this one will probably be the one that he remembers the most, the time when a sitting U.S. president has been there. And
it looks like we're going to be seeing the president any moment now. You can see that staircase rolling up to the typical entrance that the president walks off when he walks off of Air Force One right now. I can imagine it's only a matter of moments before he walks out of Air Force One and then meets up with Jerry Falwell Jr., his wife, and continues that drive over to Williams Stadium.
Very short drive, a fairly short flight also. No more than probably about 25 minutes or so, I'd say.
It's a pretty fast flight between D.C. and here.
Absolutely. Doors open, all eyes are on it, waiting for the president to come out and come down those steps and make his way to the motorcade to Liberty. All right, we're going to check one more time with WDBJ7's Tim Saunders at Liberty University as we wait for the president to emerge from Air Force One. Tim.
I can't help but think back on when President George H.W. Bush was here in 1990 and how he arrived. It was a very different experience at that time because the Lynchburg Regional Airport had not expanded. They hadn't built the new terminal, and they had not expanded the runway enough where Air Force One could fly in. So they came in on Marine One at that time and landed right behind the stadium and exited off into the stadium at that time. So it was a very different situation. They didn't come to the airport. President and Mrs. Bush were getting off of Marine One right behind the stadium, and then they walked right out with Jerry Falwell Sr., who rode with them from Marine One from the White House. Of course, this time they have chosen to take Air Force One and land at the Lynchburg Regional Airport, where they are about to get off the plane right now, it sounds like.
Yeah, just a sea of people. You can see behind you, Tim, there at Williams Stadium. No doubt just waiting. Lots of them have been there for literally hours today, waiting for this moment when Donald Trump emerges from Air Force One and makes his way to the motorcade there to Liberty University. And, it's an exciting day anyway for the graduates and their families. When you add a presidential visit, I can't imagine.
This is certainly a day none of them will ever forget.
Absolutely not. All right, the door is still open. Stairs are in place, just waiting for him to emerge there from Air Force One. Just one of those situations we just got to kind of wait and see. All right, right now we're going to head over to WDBJ7's Tanisha Watkins, who's covering a different angle of today where there are actually protesters gathered there in Lynchburg. Tanisha, you say that there are already several protesters gathered there.
Kim, at this point, I'd say there's definitely closer to 100, if not more, protesters here at the intersection of Harvard Street and Wards Road. That's right across from Liberty off of Highway 29. Now, this protest is organized by the Seven Hills Progressive Society. However, there are people here from all over who are here in opposition to the president coming into town today. And as you can hear, they're chanting now. I'm trying to listen. Right now, they're chanting, "No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA." Some other calls, some chants that they have been saying today are "Power to the people, no one is illegal." Now, I did get a chance to speak with a few of these protesters, and they are not against Liberty's graduation. They are supporting the graduates. They are very proud of them today, but they say they are assembled today to protest the president coming into town and for some of what he is standing for. Again, you know, they've been out here. They started lining up around 7 o'clock this morning. They have grown exponentially, 100 people, if not more, all ages, all ethnicities, all backgrounds, waiting for the president to arrive. I think they're hoping he'll come down here so he can see these signs. Kim and Christian, back to you.
Yeah, and we did expect that there would be protesters there with the president's visit. And one thing to keep in mind, there is a lot of security there at Liberty. There's extra officers, dozens of officers on traffic patrol, medical personnel. We're even told there's a towing company there in case somebody's car breaks down, if they lock their keys in their car. They have pretty much thought of everything, it sounds like.
They have. They've even thought of, there are actually cells on wheels that they brought in to make sure that everyone has cell phone service because of just the great number of people that are converging on Lynchburg and Liberty University today. Yeah. Certainly a day when, you know, cell phone signals will be very busy as people are busy taking photos.
Selfies.
Selfies. A few lucky people may be getting a selfie with the president. Yes. And we are going to go to Bianca Holman. She is actually at the airport right now. So Bianca, I know it's been a couple minutes since we've checked in. A couple minutes ago, we saw people leave the rear of the plane. So it sounds like the president will be coming out any minute now.
Yes, Christian, it could be any moment that the president walks down those steps. The motorcade, his car is right there at the bottom of the steps. He's not going to walk too far before he gets right into the car and heads over to campus. And the security is tight here. We went through rounds of security. There's a helicopter flying around. There's state police that's here. There's, of course, Secret Service. I mean, they're playing no games here to protect the president. He's coming off the plane now. Bruce has a shot of him.
Yes, there he is. President Trump emerging now from Air Force One, walking down the steps. There he is, ready to give the commencement address at Liberty University today. Thousands and thousands of people. We're talking about a record turnout crowd for this commencement.
Absolutely, and he's hopping into his motorcade now, and we understand that he will be joined in the motorcade with Jerry Falwell Jr. as well as his wife. They are going to be making the about a 2-mile drive between the Lynchburg Regional Airport and Williams Stadium. There you can see Jerry Falwell Jr. right now. They are hopping into the motorcade at this point, and they will be making the quick, no more than 10-minute drive or so from the airport to Williams Stadium, where Donald Trump will be giving that address. We've been hearing from Jerry Falwell Jr. He's been a part of the speech process.
Absolutely, he did, and he said to expect an uplifting speech from President Trump, a unique speech, an inspiring speech for these students. That's what they have come there to hear. They have worked so hard during their college career, and to have a sitting president come and speak is such a special thing. So it will be wonderful to hear what he has to say to them.
Yeah, and it's also very special for the folks at Liberty, because this is President Trump's only expected commencement speech this whole year.
That's true.
And he's doing it right here in one of our hometowns.
It is a big deal for sure. And there you see the motorcade starting to roll away again. Pretty short trip. Should only take about 7 minutes or so. All right, let's head over now to WDBJ7's Tim Saunders, who is on the campus of Liberty University. All right, Tim, what are you seeing there now?
Well, right on the other side of the camera, you can't see it from where you are, but I can see it, is US 460, and it is blocked right now. We don't know for certain if that is the route that President Trump will travel, but it makes sense because that would have the least number of contact points with other roadways. That is a controlled access highway where bridges pass over the highway anyway. So they've got all the exit ramps blocked. They have heavy security on the highway, and you have to believe that President Trump is going to head that way. I can actually hear the Virginia State Police helicopter hovering above the highway right now, and more than likely they're doing that for security purposes to monitor the route that President Trump and Jerry Falwell, Becky Falwell will be taking as they travel over here to Liberty University. And that would, on any day of the week, be the easiest way to get to Liberty. Going up Ward's Road, you're going to run into a lot of other contact points, a lot of other roads that cross through there. But more than likely, I'm trying to keep my eye out here, more than likely they're going to be passing right by me where I should be able to see the motorcade off to my left here, passing up US 460, heading over here to campus.
And Tim, it's got to be an exciting day for you two to be there on the campus of Liberty University, anticipating President Trump's arrival. There we see the motorcade driving through, and and thankfully the weather has been pretty good. There were some low clouds there, but he was able to land on time and getting around just fine, it looks like.
We were worried a little bit. Friday was kind of a little bit of a washout there in the afternoon, but it seems like thankfully the rain has cleared at least a little bit.
Absolutely. 50,000 people there, 18,000 graduates. And we are happy to hear that, the weather is going to stay nice and dry. Let's check in now with our weather guy this morning, Christian. So are we expecting any more rain today? Hopefully not.
I think we're all done with the rain. There might be a few sprinkles associated with some low clouds, maybe some hazy conditions, bringing some mist to the area, but things are going to start to clear out across the region, and we're going to see some nicer conditions later on this afternoon. Temperatures starting to warm, 52 right now in Lynchburg, 55 in Roanoke, 55 at Smith Mountain Lake, 52 in Lexington. So we are talking about some pretty nice conditions here for commencement throughout the morning hours. I think we're going to see cloudy conditions persist out into Lynchburg a little later than what we'll see further out towards the west in the New River Valley into the Roanoke area. So for the folks headed out to commencement, we are talking about, I think, cloudy conditions through commencement into the afternoon here. So again, we are talking about some warmer temperatures that will sneak into the area starting for Mother's Day, and this is going to continue as we head into next week. So get outside, enjoy today. It'll be a little cooler, but we do have some warmer temperatures on the way. We're going to continue to monitor the situation, and I tell you what, Mother's Day is turning out to be a really nice day. I hope you can get outside and enjoy your Mother's Day tomorrow with the family.
All right, let's hope so. A lot of families are in Lynchburg at Liberty University's graduation. In case you missed it, in case you just turned on the TV, let's show you some video of Air Force One arriving just a few moments ago. President Trump on board, of course, coming to speak at Liberty University's commencement address just in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and he'll be speaking to about 50,000 people at a packed Williams Stadium, and you can take a look. This is the video from just about 15 or 20 minutes ago of Air Force One coming in for that landing. You can see that great vantage point that our photographer Bruce Young got. And as it's coming in for landing, we had to wait a few minutes, but then the president did emerge and got into the motorcade, and right now they're in transit between.
They are pretty close now to Liberty University, I'd say. Our own Tim Saunders is, of course, covering things there on the campus of Liberty University, who's been looking for that motorcade. Let's check in now with him. Tim, have you spotted the president's car yet?
I am keeping my eyes peeled just to my left here to see if I see the president's motorcade passing on US 460. I just have a feeling that they're going to go right past us here on the highway because, as I said earlier, that would be the most direct and unobstructed route between the airport and Liberty any day of the week, regardless of what's happening today. And I just feel like that would probably be the most secure way to go. I also hear the Virginia State Police helicopter hovering right above us, so I'm looking off to my left. I literally expect to see them any second go by. Have not seen them yet at this point, but that would probably be the way they would come in. They can get right off of 460 at the Candler's Mountain Road exit and circle right around to Williams Stadium in a very short and unobstructed way. So I would imagine that we'll see them right here off to my left any second now.
Yeah, it's about getting him to campus
safely.
Them, yes. All right, Tim's going to keep on watching. There are dozens of extra police officers out doing traffic control. As you can imagine, it is so crowded out there. We've got some more video of the president emerging from Air Force One. There he is, giving a thumbs up.
And walking down and walking into the motorcade where he was joined by Jerry Falwell Jr. as well as his wife, as they are in the midst of going between the Lynchburg Regional Airport and Williams Stadium, no more than a 10-minute drive or so. There you can see him greeting the folks there as well. And we do want to let you know that we are going to continue our coverage when he begins to speak. We anticipate that'll be sometime around 10 o'clock. There you go right there. So we'll be carrying his speech live at 10 a.m. We'll also have our team coverage that will continue at 6 o'clock tonight here on WDBJ7.
Yeah, if you are away from your television, we're also live streaming it on WDBJ7.com. So wherever you are, you can hear the president's address to Liberty University. We're going to take a break now, send you back to regular programming, and we'll check back in with you as soon as the president begins his speech at Liberty University. Thank you so much for joining us.
This has been a special report from WDBJ7.
There you have it. President Trump's speech before more than 50,000 people at Liberty University's graduation ceremonies today. It was an inspirational speech. He mentioned faith a lot. It was humorous at times. The one big thing he wanted to convey, do what you love. Don't give up your dreams. Don't be afraid to take on the establishment. Some really good quotes there, I thought.
Yeah, that theme of going against the status quo was something that was really throughout his entire speech. And Jerry Falwell Jr. told us earlier that, you know, he was expecting that traditional and inspirational speech. And that's a good portion of what we heard from the president this morning. Yeah. Starting with that upbeat looking forward. But he did transition to a few more serious topics there throughout that speech. Political undertones coming up as well.
He did a little bit. Again, you know, talking about not being afraid to take on the establishment, to do what you love, to stand up for yourself. He paid homage to Jerry Falwell Sr., which I thought was really nice being there at Liberty University. He was, of course, the creator of that school. And, you know, he said the future belongs to the dreamers, not the critics. That was a quote that really stood out to me, and I think that'll resonate a lot to that class of 2017. Nearly 19,000 graduates getting their diplomas today.
Many of them on campus for the first time
today.
That's
true, yeah.
Because many of those were online students. So, you know, working for those years to get their degree, said, you know, they were an example of the American dream, working nights, working weekends to get their degrees, and there they are on this very monumentous day in
definitely
Lynchburg.
A special day. And of course, we have continuing coverage. WDBJ7's Tim Saunders is there at Liberty University. He's been covering the situation there all morning long in front of that huge crowd, like a sea of people there behind you, Tim. So what were your impressions on President Trump's speech?
Well, certainly here in Williams Stadium, there was a lot of excitement and people were just hanging on every word. They got very quiet and they certainly cheered at certain times, especially when President Trump talked about the fact that he had appointed someone who was pro-life to the Supreme Court. I think actually Jerry Falwell mentioned that in the introduction, but that was one of the first applause lines here inside the stadium, and there were quite a few applause lines. Of course, this was an optimistic speech. He told the graduates to start small, pursue a vision, a big vision, and never quit. He gave them a lot of optimism, a lot of encouragement. But he said that America is better when people put their faith into action. He underscored the fact that this is an institution built on religious principles, and it is a religious-based institution. So he talked about how prayer has been so important in our past, in our history in this country, and how we're founded on religious principles. Jerry Falwell Jr. told me yesterday that this was going to be a very personalized speech, and he mentioned that he had a role in trying to craft this speech, and I have to believe that Jerry had something to do with the mention that President Trump gave to George Rogers, a Lynchburg resident who was a longtime employee of Liberty University and was a big part of the founding of this university with the late Jerry Falwell Sr. I interviewed George Rogers a few years ago. He is a Bataan Death March survivor, a World War II veteran who's 98 years old, still lives here, and it was really neat to see George Rogers with a big smile on his face getting a shout out from the President of the United States. A big moment for him, a big moment for Lynchburg, to have someone of his stature recognized by the President during a commencement speech. Of course, the President talked a lot about things that sort of refer back to his own story. He told the graduates to relish the opportunity to be an outsider because outsiders change the world, imparting that wisdom and encouragement on them as they graduate from Liberty University today.
Yeah, and that was a recurring theme. He said they have a totally brilliant future ahead of them. I loved hearing that, and no doubt the graduating students today love hearing that message as well. All right, Tim, thank you. In case you missed it earlier today, we got video of Air Force One arriving to Lynchburg Airport earlier this morning. We'll take a look at that video.
There it is. And you can see Air Force One there coming in for a landing. A lot of people, you know, waiting and watching on television as this was unfolding, and as Air Force One was coming in for a landing from that very short flight from Washington D.C. here to Lynchburg Regional Airport. And from here at the airport, Donald Trump traveled with Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife, about 2 miles or so between the airport to Williams Stadium.
Yeah, and he's not leaving empty-handed. Liberty University awarded him a doctorate of law, an honorary degree. This is his second honorary degree. He received one back in 2012
and that was
when he came for convocation.
That was a doctorate in business that he received in 2012.
Yes, so this is video of him from earlier today. There he is waving, giving the thumbs up as he was disembarking from Air Force One. And, you know, I think anyone who was watching, who was listening to that speech, had to be impressed with, you know, the encouragement that he gave these graduates. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of a scary feeling when you're graduating. You may not have a job lined up yet. It's like, what do I do now? And I think he gave them the message that they needed to hear. That, you know, do what you love, pursue that dream, do what you went to school to study for, and make that a reality. And that's very encouraging to them, I think.
One of the things he said, treat the impossible as motivation.
Yeah.
And let's actually go out to WDBJ7's Bianca Holman. She is waiting for the president at the airport. So Bianca, what's it like where you are?
Hi, Christian and Kim. Yes, I'm out here on Airport Road. We left the inside of the airport. We're out here on the outside right now. Airport Road is actually closed down. They have a barricade down on both ends to ensure the safety as the motorcade comes back through and the president gets back on Air Force One and heads back to the Capitol. So the Secret Service is out here, state troopers are out here, the sheriffs are out here, and so we're going to be waiting patiently to see him ride by and to see him, you know, kind of get back on and head home. Kim and Christian?
Yeah, all right, no doubt they're going to be waiting for that motorcade to pull on out of here. And he gave a shout out to the parents and the grandparents, everybody that got those graduating students where they are today. And that was nice to hear as well. Attention to the family members.
Certainly a very big day at Liberty University. And we do want to mention that we will continue our coverage this evening. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we will have a special newscast giving you a complete, comprehensive recap of the president's visit here in Lynchburg.
That's right. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you have a great day, and we're going to return you now to regular programming. Be sure to tune in tonight on WDBJ7 at 6. Have a great day.
See ya.
This has been a special report from WDBJ7.